Hi there, everyone. Today we're going to talk about. This is like a series that I have been drawn to do. You know, the love readings are really popular, and I'm not totally going to get to them. And I'm sorry that I've been slacking, but really, what is happening here is I'm being guided to do a series called F Love. Let's talk about Ascension, because we have this huge grand junction coming up on December the 21st, and it really is asking for us to plan our life specifically for the next 3 years, but more so, like, we are moving into a new age where we really have to decide what we want to see in our life, in the world, in general. And Ascension is coming. It's here. People have been talking about it, for decades, but we're really at a point where it's kind of like a do or die. And what you decide now, moving into 2021, and really moving into the grand conjunction, really is going to dictate the kind of lessons that you will receive over the next coming years. So we're going to read, ask for guidance from Spirit for Scorpios, and we'll move through the signs in that way. Thank you for tuning in, coming back, whatever you like to do. I appreciate the connection, the communication. I'm looking forward to growing with you all and seeing where things go with you all over the next coming years. Guides, spirits, and guardians, goddess specifically, please offer some guidance for my Scorpios moving into the year of 2020, the Grand Conjunction. What do they need to focus on in order to ascend and to achieve their highest and most good? Your card is Strength. And I think you Scorps know that. I've been connecting with a lot of you online, because I do work on Keen. So a lot of Scorpions are calling and they're asking, what do I need? And a lot of the calls that I field are relationship calls, but some of them are life path calls. And Scorpions really are moving, or Scorpio really is moving into a life path where the next few years for them is going to take strength. You may have sailed through life easily up until now because you are quite charming, because you are the sign that some people can call you vengeful, but you have a kind of luck where you can work a room, you can really get the crowd on your side and get people on your side. But the Grand Conjunction is calling for you to draw upon your strength, which you have a very deep well of. My mother is a Scorpio, and she raised very strong women. And even your Scorpio men are quite strong. So you have a deep well of strength that you are supposed to be drawing on, and moving into the Grand Conjunction, you will ask, not specifically for strength, because sometimes the universe shows you that you're strong when you ask for strength. But what you will ask for is the ability to draw more deeply upon that well of strength and not be depleted. So we have turn over a new page, but it's in reverse. And what that tells me, this is a gorgeous card, but when it comes up in reverse, it says we don't necessarily need to turn over a new page because we're already on the right path. Many of you Scorpio are on the right path when it comes to what you want to produce in the next life. Or when I say the next life, I mean life after the Grand Conjunction. You are already in the flow, but this is like when things get tough, how can we stick with it? How can we stay with it? You don't need to turn over a new leaf. You need to find new imaginative ways to achieve the goals that you're looking for. And they said now imagination comes up in the upright. This is the Sufi deck. And time to play comes in the reverse. You all don't catch a break though, because you haven't had a time to play in quite some time. I feel that much of your work has been work. It has been survival. It has been scrappy. It has been looking for what ways in order to achieve your highest good, and you do have quite a survival instinct. But it is telling me that this is not a time to play. This is a time to hunker down even more fiercely because of what you have moving forward. Ebb and flow is out. Purification is out. And communication is out. When these cards come up for me, ebb and flow talks about you waxing and waning with the tide and really going with the flow and not holding on to things too tightly. You may find that overcoming your challenges has a lot to do with your give a shit. Excuse my language. I'm not monetized, so it doesn't matter. It has to do with your ability to say, this is what I care about and this is what I don't care about, and this doesn't meet my objective. Yes, I do care about you or this or that, but holding on to this while the tide is washing out does not meet my objective. Purification comes in, and both of these cards are water cards, which is your sign. Purification comes in, and that talks about over the next few weeks, you want to take some purifying baths. You want to make some connection with the water, whether it be ocean water or rainwater. It's irrelevant. Your sign thrives in and around water type areas, and if you are removed from that, it's now time to either take Epsom salt baths or go take the beach vacation, or find ways to connect with water that are safe, because we are in the big sea. So making sure that you're being safe but still connecting with your element as frequently as possible. And then the communion cards. The communion card is here because it is asking you to commune with your element. You will actually receive information, guidance from your guardians through your element. A lot of water signs are getting this, where it's like, people say the shower thoughts or something like that. Things where you get your best ideas or your most communication when you're in the shower or in the bathtub. And that some of that has to do with relaxation, but some of it has to do with the fact that you are connecting to your element. I'm going to ask for some guidance from the angels and the fairies. So the fairies for me are like earth angels, and they're my first line of defense. They'll be the people that I ask for direction and guidance before I go to an archangel or, the Christ energy or goddess energy or whatever is the next higher energy. I'll usually check in with the fairies first, and I tend to get what I need. So what they are advising here, and if you get a personal reading from me, you'll find that I do that a lot. I'm like, what they're asking for here is connection. They're saying a lot about looking at the past, and many people that you have cut off, they may have deserved that cut off. Not like I'm the queen of cut off because I'm an Aquarius and we're good at it, but this is asking you to examine your past with new eyes and decide again anew, or refresh that energy or that thought process. Were these connections worthy of me? Are they worthy of me still? It's asking you to reevaluate your past with new eyes and move forward in a place of confidence and connection. Now, this is also a connection between the masculine and feminine, And when this card comes up, it usually asks for you to marry the energies of masculine and feminine, which I always feel Scorpio as like, I know they're a water sign, but I always feel them with a little bit of fire in the water. So it's asking you, and that's fire is that masculine energy, or that yang energy, and water is that soft feminine energy. But Scorpio tends to be a solid balance or a marrying of the two, and it's asking you again to start to marry those energies between masculine and feminine, and that corresponds with this ebb and flow too. It's like know when to fall back and know when to push. And you can do that by examining some of your previous encounters, your previous relationships, and who you want to be in those encounters moving forward. Like, do you want to be a hothead in an encounter moving forward, or is it okay for you to just chill back and move forward? This is the Lemurian deck, and I'm working on my familiarity with this deck, but it is one of my new favorites. The imagery is just positively divine, and it should resonate with you water people. So the air card comes up, and usually that talks about, and it's, so let me just do that again. Can you read that? Paradigm shift. Paradigm shift. We are there. We are there, Scorpios. We are there. Paradigm shift. And some of my Scorpio people are leading the way there, where you really need to think about the things that you, air is a throat chakra or communicator, right? So the things that you want to communicate, the things that you say out loud to the universe, the things that you want to put forth are part of your legacy moving forward. It is also asking you to take breath before you move. What I mean by that is sometimes we can get a little buzzy, we can be ungrounded, we can be in a hurry to go, make a decision. Things have to be forced now. What it's asking for is to take a breath. And that's also when you examine your past, when you examine the person who you used to be and who you want to be, take a breath. It's like, don't turn me into the old me, but you're not the old you. You're the new you. And moving forward, you'll be the new and improved you. So start taking a breath before you have reaction, and not every interaction is requires a reaction from you. So not every person who comes at you requires your energy back. These are all oracle cards, so they kind of are talking about the guidance that we're looking for moving forward. The last thing we'll end it out with some oracle cards from the angels. But I do want to check into the next few weeks, the things that you can expect and what you should focus on. You can expect a lot of judgment coming back from the past. That's in multiple relationships. You have to own your shit, Scorpio, in order to move forward. And that's why it's asking you to examine the past as well. Because you're not just owning your shit now. You have to own who you were back then. It doesn't mean that you need to be held so deeply responsible that you're beating yourself up. But you do need to look at your past in detail and say, yeah, that was me and I was toxic, or yeah, that was me and I was codependent, or yeah, that was me and I needed XYZ thing, or I was in a place of hurt, or this or that, but that was still me. Like, we can't blame it on all of it on the circumstances, because that was still your action. Here's the Queen of Swords. She's the Queen of Cutoff. and the Queen of Cups. And this kind of talks about these two energies being together. So it's like, again, this is literally talking about the thing that I just mentioned, re-examining the past and who deserves to be cut from your life and who is still solid in your life. You're moving into a space and an age that's going to require a lot of balancing from you. Because you are a mouthpiece. Because you are a mouthpiece. And it's going to take a lot. And it doesn't look like, it's interesting to me because some of this struggle, here I see where it's like people are going to cause you problems. You are going to feel left out in the cold somewhat financially and make some choices in the realm of money that you will slightly regret, but it's out of generosity and kindness. They're going to leave you feeling emotionally ungrounded, and then that causes you to travel. So I do see a lot of travel for many of you Scorpios during the month of December. If you're not actually traveling, then the planning for travel is here, and it should be undertaken because you do need, wherever you're planning to go, there's a reason why you're going there. And it's not just to like, oh, have fun. We all need fun. But you are collecting energy so that you can move forward and leave behind some of these things that aren't serving you. People who keep you as options, people who depend on you but don't reciprocate, people who have used you in the past. This is the time for reevaluating whether or not there's someone who still serves your ultimate goal. My Scorpio people are a mouthpiece moving forward. They will be given a lot of downloads about things to say to help the other signs move on with their lives, and you will be moving on with yours as well. But you've got to get clear so that Spirit can give you appropriate guidance. Let us pull from the angel deck, see what angels need to be engaged. Just as you are the mouthpiece, you need to be prepared to listen. You are powerful light workers coming forward, and many of us are being tapped on the shoulder. I know many Aquarians are, but Scorpios are as well. And emotional sensitivity, this is not a curse, it is actually a gift, and it's one of the gifts that you will give to the world. We've gotten so far into, narcissism and darkness and me, and you all Scorpios that are tuning in here for the collective, part of your work is retraining yourself and your tribe to have emotional sensitivity. All of the stuff that I have been talking about, communion with water and all of that, that's actually in preparation for you to be able to listen, to hear what is being given. I'm going to pull what stone my collective, my Scorpio collective, needs to carry over the next few weeks. Take it as it resonates. You need 2 stones, okay. Watermelon tourmaline. And amethyst. Amethyst does not surprise me because amethyst will tune you in and turn you on to the divine power. And it helps you to hear better, hear more clearly, have your visions more clearly. Well, I have nothing more, but please keep tuning in because I'll continue to give some of these channeled messages and whatever I can offer as we're moving into 2021. Thank you, Scorpios, for listening. for being present. You know, you can always connect with me online. I have a Facebook page. I have an Instagram that I never use, but I will respond. Um, and you can always like, share, and subscribe, and hit me up in the comments because I'm very good at responding to those. Thank you so much, and be blessed.